Hey, Kaufman is alive. I look at comic books new and old, and today I wasn't planning on making a video or doing anything like this. And if you saw my new Comic Book Day show earlier this week where I picked up some new comics off the rack, I said I was trying to cut back on buying some back issues because my reading pile is getting so big. So I only picked up 2 new issues and no back issues, but I couldn't help myself today when I was at Half Price Books. I was selling some old records and CDs and I made a little money, so I spent a little bit of it. And I actually found some new issues that have just come out recently from Marvel in the dollar bin, which was awesome. And then I found some older issues as well. So I'll go through them here. I have not flipped through any of these yet or anything. I just picked them all up kind of on impulse. This first one was an awesome find. This Incredible Hulk number 25, Legacy number 806, written by Philip Kennedy Johnson. We got Nick Klein doing the artwork here with this really beautiful wraparound cover here. This was a $4.99 book when it came out just a month or 2 ago, and I have not been reading any of this Hulk run, this Incredible Hulk run, but I was going to pick this issue up when it came out, but I just couldn't find any on the shelf, and I never actually came across any issues on the rack of this. So it was a pretty popular issue, and I'm a sucker for a battle between Thor and Hulk, and I'd heard great things about this series and Nick Klein's artwork in here and Philip Kennedy Johnson's writing. So this was one I was going to dip in and pick up, but like I said, I couldn't find it, and found it today for just $1, which can't beat that. So I definitely could not pass this up. I had been reading some of the previous runs from these 2 characters when Donny Cates was doing the writing, and you had Ryan Ottley doing the artwork on Hulk, and then they had Ryan Stegman was doing some work on Venom with Donny Cates as well. And Donny Cates was writing Thor, and then he hopped off Thor to write Hulk. So these 2 characters have had a lot of crossover in the past few years. So I was kind of interested just to see where they were at this point. But again, a great wraparound cover here, which I think was kind of the main appeal of this book when it came out. Then I picked up Moon Knight Fist of Khonshu number 10. This one just came out as well. It's the 250th legacy issue of Moon Knight. And I've been kind of dipping in and out of Jed MacKay's run on Moon Knight. I thought it's been pretty awesome when Alessandra Cappuccio was on artwork, and we got Devmala Pramanik, who kind of replaced Cappuccio on this series, and they've done an awesome job. I really love this artwork as well. But I picked up every single issue of The Vengeance of the Moon Knight, which preceded this series, and I picked up the first issue of this series and decided to drop it. But still a fan of all these characters and the Midnight Mission. So again, interested to kind of hop in and see where everyone's at. We got Hunter's Moon here. I have the first appearance of Hunter's Moon was back in Moon Knight issue number 2, about 4 years ago, I think. And I bought that off the rack, and now I've seen those copies of those issues going for like $50-$60. He's kind of the brother in Khonshu with Moon Knight is Hunter's Moon. But he started out as the villain of that Moon Knight series. But now they're all on the same side here. And this looks like it might be... this was the character they introduced back in the first issue of this series, so... Looks like we may be getting some sort of conclusion to it here. Again, I have not flipped through these books or read them or anything. There's Zodiac. This is just some awesome artwork. This was a series, along with The Incredible Hulk, that I would have liked to have collected, but you know, sometimes you just got to make certain decisions based on your income and how much money you have. I'd buy every series if I could, but... Then we got Captain America number 1 by Chip Zdarsky and Valerio Schiti. And this just came out. And this was one I was also tempted to start collecting when it came out. And just made kind of the tough call not to, but again, found it here in the dollar bin, so figured I might as well give it a shot here. They actually had issue 2 as well, but I figured I'd flip through the first issue first, maybe read this, see if I want to keep collecting it. Maybe I'll get lucky and go back there and they'll still have issue 2 in the dollar bin, but they didn't have these polybagged or anything. They were just loose, and it's just really awesome to find new comics like that, because I, along with most other comic book collectors, complain about the price point on a lot of these. This one was $5.99 when it came out, so we've got Marvel 85th Anniversary Special. This is a really thick book. It's got this awesome Kari Andrews cover here with a kind of eclectic group of superheroes here. Kari Andrews has been the artist on the current Spider-Man Wolverine series at Marvel, which has been a phenomenal series. I highly recommend checking those out. I've done reviews of all those issues, so I recommend go check those reviews out on my channel, and check out all my other videos while you're there. I've got over 700 videos and shorts up on my channel, so please subscribe if you haven't already. But this is like an anthology. There's a whole bunch of creative teams on here. Some great names like Alan Davis and Steve Skroce. Not to minimize any of the other names on there, but those are a couple that jump out at me right away. This looks like the Alan Davis artwork here. And I like the Kari Andrews cover. It looks like it's actually highlighting a lot of the characters that are being focused on in this book. So it's not just some random cover. The Spider-Mobile. A lot of these kind of Marvel anniversary anthology issues have a lot of stories that usually don't tie into things that are happening too much, but they just have a lot of them just have a lot of heart or humor involved with them, or an interesting style of artwork like we get here in this one. This looks like a manga. That's pretty cool. I love all the line work, the really delicate line work on the sword here. And the speed lines in the background there. I don't know who this artist is on this. I want to find out if I can find the credits here, but I don't want to skip past this. I love this Deadpool toy set ad. It's got this vintage style to it. It's a parody, obviously. Wow, that is some really cool looking stuff. Sometimes you gotta wonder if Marvel would just give itself over to manga. Wonder what would happen to their sales. I don't see who the creator is here. Their name might be written in Japanese, which is why I can't make it out. But that's some great work there. Looks like there's some sort of Wolverine, Deadpool storyline going through each of these, kind of maybe tying them all together here. We got a contest of champions here. This was also a book when it came out. I remember picking it up off the rack, kind of flipping through it, and just decided not to buy it. Kind of maybe subconsciously said to myself, if I find this in a dollar bin later on, I might buy it. So putting stuff out into the universe and then it happens. Gotta love it. Deadpool Wolverine soundtrack. I picked this up. I actually did a video reviewing this. I actually got the colored vinyls as well. Go check that out. So we got the Moon Warrior. This is what I was looking for. Writer-artist Yuji Kaku and Ken Kunita. There's a special thanks to them as well. So that was that story. It looked like a Moon Knight story there. So that was some awesome finds. Those are all new books. Then I picked up some classic Marvel back issues here. They're all Marvel actually, except for this DC IDW Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Batman crossover. Definitely a sucker for some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles crossover action. And this was a really awesome looking pencil cover here. Not a series I've ever picked up. This came out, let's see what year this came out. 2015. Yeah, so I really wasn't doing much collecting at the time here, but we got James Tynion doing the writing and Freddie E. Williams II doing the artwork and the cover here. I believe Freddie Williams, if you're a fan of Red Letter Media, I think he is a frequent guest on their videos. If I'm not mistaken, he's always talking about Ninja Turtles and comic books when he comes on. And I've actually always wanted to get some of his stuff because he seems like a pretty down-to-earth, cool guy. And this looks like some pretty awesome crossover action between the Turtles and Batman here. There's a great splash page. The Shredder versus Batman. That's a matchup I did not know that I needed. But that's two ninjas. So very cool. This is issue 1 of, I think it says, what's it say here? 1 of 6. It's a great splash page to end it. Might have to go look for the rest of this series. Batman, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, pretty cool. I picked up a couple Spider-Man books here. Both have these gimmick covers, which is why I picked them up. And 2 issues I've never owned here. 189, Spectacular Spider-Man. It's got the hologram on it. Hologram kind of looks like crap, but if you get it at the right angle, it looks pretty awesome. This is a book I see floating around dollar bins all the time. Definitely don't spend more than $1 on it if you ever come across it. Don't be fooled by this hologram cover. It's not worth much. Didn't really pick up any keys or anything today as far as I could tell. And is this John Romita Jr. doing the artwork? It looks like it. It could be Sal Buscema. Let's see if they got the, yeah, it's Sal Buscema doing the artwork here. He's also on the cover to issue 200, which I also picked up there. But this one advertises the final battle with the Green Goblin. Obviously not the case, because here, 11 issues later, we got Spider-Man battling the Green Goblin on the cover with the holographic foil webs. This was during the boom of the gimmick covers in the early 90s, but I'm a sucker for them. I guess I'm just attracted to shiny objects. I wonder if Sal Buscema was a big influence on John Romita Jr. or if it was the other way around, because they both have a similar style during this period. And they're both drawing Spider-Man as well. Get this great poster. I'm glad this is still in the book. This is an incredible piece. I've never seen this before. Black costume Spider-Man chasing the Hobgoblin. I love the cats on the balcony there. That's awesome. I might try and find another copy of this and rip that poster out and put it on my wall. So I can have a clean copy and one with the poster on the wall, obviously. So If I can find another copy of this for $1, I might do that now that I know there's a poster inside. But like I said, I wouldn't pay more than $1 for this book anyway. Get some great action here between Spider-Man and Green Goblin. Can't beat that. Let's see how he finishes it off here. He says the final battle. He just punches him into a wall, it looks like. And webs him up and takes him to jail. So, yeah, definitely not the last time we'll ever see the Green Goblin. And we get a backup story here. Aunt May having a nightmare about Ben Parker. Then we got Spectacular Spider-Man 200. Again, this was just 11 issues later. I could not resist this cover. I can't remember. I don't think I bought this originally when it came out. But I love that cover. Same artist on this issue. Not much of a departure from anything we were just looking at, to be honest with you here. Looks like the same creative team. And a lot of the same plots, it looks like, probably going on here as well. So he takes Mary Jane to where Gwen Stacy died. Trying to recreate that with Mary Jane here. Looks like we've got Harry Osborn in the suit. I do love these Sal Buscema pencils. Draws a great Green Goblin. Properly creepy, yet kind of corny at the same time. Again, more battles with Green Goblin here. It just never ends between Spider-Man and Goblin. This is a classic scene. I've seen this reprinted many times, the Harry Osborn dying here. Of course, he always comes back. Glad I picked this one up. Definitely of its time. Kind of a key in a way. An important part of the Peter Parker, Harry Osborn story. Then I got The Mighty Thor number 10. I'm a big fan of the Dan Jurgens, John Romita Jr. Thor run here. I've got a bunch of the first few issues from this series, but this one was just one I don't have. And we got Klaus Janson as well doing some of the artwork on here along with John Romita Jr. So a great creative team on this series. I definitely would recommend picking this one up if you don't know kind of maybe where to start with Thor. In kind of a modern sense, I'd say this would be a pretty good place to start. We still got the kind of Jack Kirby aesthetic and characters going on here. And I just thought this creative team did a great job kind of carrying on The Legacy of Thor. These are some of the better Thor comics. Thor number 10. Then I got Sabretooth number 4. This was the final issue of this miniseries. Mark Texeira is doing the artwork. I've had issue number 1 of this forever. And if you saw one of my videos a couple weeks ago, I just picked up issue 2, which I think I had way back in the day, but finally maybe kind of collecting this whole series. Finally, I just got to find issue 3 now. But some gritty artwork here by Mark Texeira. Pretty good artist to put on a Sabretooth book. Or a Wolverine book, just because he's just such a dark, violent character. Don't know much about the story in this. Looks like he might be finding his son Grayson Creed. Is this Grayson's first appearance? I don't know. Let me know in the comments. But I did pick up some X-Men books today as well. I got X-Men 299 and 297. 2 issues I don't have. I started collecting right around issue 300 in 93 when I was 10 years old. So these came out right before I really started collecting. And seen these around obviously all the time, and finally picked them up. But the one I was really kind of excited to find was this Ghost Rider number 27, because got Jim Lee artwork on here, which I could tell right off the bat. And it's a Ghost Rider X-Men crossover, which is pretty awesome. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, this might be continuing out of X-Men issue number 9, where Ghost Rider makes a brief appearance. Yeah, it says they were in New Orleans, the last issue. And that's a comic I've had for a while, so I've never actually read the part 2 to it because it's in this Ghost Rider book. And Jim Lee's not doing the interiors. He's just on the cover, but that's an awesome cover. We got Ron Wagner doing the art here. Howard Mackey is the writer. Mike Witherby is doing the inks on this issue. Again, I just want to look at this cover again. Love a good X-Men crossover. And I love seeing Jim Lee drawing Ghost Rider. That's awesome. So the cover looks like kind of a holdover from the little crossover they had in the X-Men book. Some cool pages here by Ron Wagner. Love the 90s X-Men team too. Gambit, Wolverine, Cyclops. Got Beast, Rogue, Psylocke. They really mirror the animated series during this point in their history, which is really my favorite. This is really my favorite X-Men team. Maybe the stories aren't the best, but just the look and everything about this team, all the members of it, is my favorite. So this looks like a cool issue. Can't wait to read this one. That's all I got for today. Thanks again for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't yet. I do post daily comic book reviews. Again, I wasn't planning on doing anything like this today, but definitely go check out your local used bookstore. See if they got any comics. If they got a dollar bin, try and find some new comics at a discount like I did today. Definitely recommend doing that. And thanks again for watching. I'll see you guys on the next one. Go read comics.